The Tigers have lost the American League Division Series in 5 games against the Seattle Mariners. And it was an amazingly pitched game, and the offense couldn't do anything.
At all.
Yeah.
One hit pretty much was the only score, and it was a 2-run home run by Kerry Carpenter, and it was early on. They were just terrible throughout the rest with
He
hitting.
had a great game.
Now, they always say that good pitching beats good hitting, but we had really good pitch. And I do think, well, we got a lot to talk about, but, and I don't want the cold open to go a half hour. So we're going to talk more about them. But yeah, I think there's some things that the manager could have done a little bit better. Hinch could have done maybe a little better.
Like put anyone else in that could have hit.
But it went a record 15 innings for Detroit, which is the longest postseason game in Tiger history. And the Tigers have played baseball as the Detroit Tigers since 1901. And even before that, the home of Tiger Stadium, it was Navin Field first and then Briggs Stadium, renamed in 1938 after Walter Briggs led the renovations for that building, and then became Tiger Stadium. And then now we moved after that building was demolished. They went to Comerica Park. But all in all, we've been playing baseball in Detroit for well over a century, and it's the longest playoff game in Detroit Tiger history.
They've been playing since 1894.
Yep. And
crazy.
Long game. I was one of the, and I've never watched, because my ADD kicks in. I don't think I've ever watched an entire 15-inning game in my life. This was do or die game, lose or go home type deal, and it was our Detroit Tiger. Anyone else, I would have went to sleep, but good God, 15 innings. It was a hell of a game. It had everything in it. Rookie hero. There was Scoob pitched incredibly well, but we'll get into all that. But it's just there's so many things to talk about this game. But yeah, just heartbreaking if you're a Tiger fan today.
Yeah.
So that being said, when you're getting into the 15th, 16th inning, he was starting to run out of options other than I like the fact that he put Flaherty in. The problem was Flaherty was so bad. Didn't he load the bases once, and then he got 2 walks back to back, or one base on balls, or one hit by pitch. It was just terrible. And they got out, and I'm thinking, all right, the momentum is in our favor. We shut up the Seattle Mariners or the fans, which that's a whole other topic, but we quieted the fans down for a minute. Momentum was on our side. I'm like, this is when we're going to do something. And we got guys on base. We just couldn't get them across the plate. And I think the one time we did, they got him out, or they forced it a run out, which that was another running error, I think, or a bad running call.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You're going to run, but we didn't have now. See, I got to watch that game again, or at least the highlights, but I'm so disgusted by it. You stay up for 15 innings. The game ended, around 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And God, by the time that 15th inning, I was honestly just wanting it to end. It was taking too long. I get up at 6 a.m. I'm used to going to bed a lot earlier than 1:30, even on the weekends. And I'm like, this game's got to end soon. Because for one, even the announcer said it, the Blue Jays are the ones that win no matter who wins this game because both bullpens are depleted heavily. So I don't know, but I think we got a lot more to talk about the Tigers, so we might as well just get into it. If you're good, I'm good with the.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right. Welcome, sports fans, to Everything Sports with Bill and Will. And God, we got a lot to talk about. In fact, I don't know that we build in enough time for complaining today.
Yeah.
About last night's game. Yeah, I know. There's a lot to complain about. There's a lot of good things as far the pitching was just incredible. It was one of the best well-pitched games I've ever seen until the 15th inning.
Yeah.
I don't like the choice of A.J. Hinch to bring on Tommy Kahnle, and then he got into he loaded the bases. I mean, he almost walked in a friggin' run.
I don't like it either, but I was thinking about it earlier, and
you're running out of options for one.
Well, not just that, but he only comes on there because half of the offense didn't get a single hit and they never pinch hit for anyone. And it, you know,
That's another. God, there's so much to complain about. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, you can go down the rundown of how they all went 0 for 6, 0 for 5. The only one that really made any impact in the game was Torkelson, or not Torkelson. I'm sorry, Kerry Carpenter.
yeah.
Torkelson did horrible.
Yeah. Carpenter was 4 for 5 with a run, 2 walks, one of them intentionally, 2 RBIs and a homer, and
Incredible.
everyone else was basically not there. Dingler was 2 for 6 with I think 2 singles.
Still better than.
Or no, it was a single and a double.
He's still like the second best on the team.
Yeah, that
last
is
night.
literally the second best.
Which is
Javi had a
horrible.
hit and a run, but you know,
Well, they played a game and a half. They had a game and a half worth of at bats. They should have done better.
yeah. Torres was 0 for 6. Green was 0 for 6. Torque was 0 for 6. Keith was 0 for 5. Zach McKinstry was 1 for 6. Parker Meadows was 0 for 5.
Kerry Carpenter went 4 for 5 with 2 walks. Rest of the Tigers combined went 4 for 46 with 2 walks.
It's awful.
Yeah, Carpenter outperformed everybody. Torres, Green, Torkelson, Keith went a combined 0 for 23 with 10 strikeouts.
That is never going to win you a playoff game ever. It's abysmal.
Even in 15 innings where nobody else is scoring.
It's very bad.
Although, if we pulled up the Seattle stats, they weren't a whole hell of a lot better until that very last
they were pretty
inning.
evenly matched, but like.
But it was great pitching. Good pitching. They always say beats good hitting, but God, you got to hit. The good hitters always find a way to hit, though. They always for them, Josh Naylor killed us. He was hitting us good throughout the series. Cal Raleigh had a really good series.
So did Julio Rodriguez.
Well, and they had one player that got 2 home runs off of Tarek Skubal, which that never happens. I think it's happened 4 times in his career, according to something I seen, and it was only 3 times in 2021 it happened. So it doesn't happen much. And it was Jorge Polanco, though, hit 2 home runs against Skubal, sorry. And that just never happens. And he still had a good game. He still struck out, 9 in that game? No. It was
13. It was 14.
No, not in the home run game.
Oh, it was 14, 9, and 13.
Yeah, so he struck. I was right for once. I struck out 9 in that game, and he still had a quality start. So, but yeah, you can't go.
Yeah, his postseason numbers are crazy.
If everybody hit like Kerry Carpenter, it would have been over in the 9th.
Yeah, and speaking of Kerry
Carpenter, over way before that.
He is the first MLB player to reach base 5 times and hit a home run in a winner-take-all postseason game since Babe Ruth did it in 1926, the Game 7.
What a stat, huh?
That's just crazy. You're matching Babe Ruth, and in anything, it's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and again, if you're against really good pitching, you expected it to be a pitcher's duel. And really, Mariners did incredible with their pitching. I hate to say it, but they did really, really well. Their starters.
Yeah, the Tigers have no hitters.
Well, that's kind of part of it. Other than, dude, I can't believe, I'm shocked they pitched the
Naylor.
No, not us. I'm shocked the Mariners even give Carpenter. Thank you. Carpenter shot at hitting again after he killed him, and George Kirby did well in his first game against us too, but we beat him.
He did well in this game too. He technically didn't give up any runs. The bullpen gave up one that was his.
Yeah, and he did really damn good for. I mean, obviously, our guys blew him out of the water, but he did really good. Got a standing ovation when he left. I think he's 6 strikeouts he finished as, and but he did really good. And he kept the game super close. They took him out, which I think was a smart play, but he's pitching so good.
Yeah, it was after
Why
he
not
gave
just
up a hit
walk
to
him?
Baez.
Yeah, and that's why they didn't want to walk him. But hell, if they would have walked Carp,
Yeah.
I think they would have been better off, which I'm glad they didn't,
Mhm.
because then he hit that home run. And at the time, it was a go-ahead home run. It would put it 2-1.
Yeah.
And
Then they
then-
came back and tied it, and then they were scoreless until the 15th.
Yeah, which is just incredible. And I knew the first.
And no fucking pinch hitters.
Yeah,
No.
that's the thing.
No
Parker Meadows, I know,
replacements.
was the fastest guy on the team, and he had a good arm, and they didn't want to take him out. But when you're in a spot where you need a bat, when you need a hit, one hit would have won the game for Detroit. They didn't pinch hit for him. And it was that was either 13th, 14th, maybe the last inning. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was.
Because there's too many
later on in
damn
the
innings
game.
to remember, and I'm not going back at this point because we got too much to look at. But in any of the times Parker Meadow was up, if you would have pinch hit, we would have had a much better chance.
Mhm.
And we had guys on the bench that could have come out and at least give us a fighting chance. Hell, the rookie for Seattle come out his first postseason game, and he gets a hit.
Yeah, off of Kyle Finnegan.
That was the
the Mariners rookie.
was that their go ahead run?
Yeah,
What was there- was
that
that-
was the
was it-
tying run. That was the tying.
was it against,
It was Leo Rivas.
Rivas? Yeah. Okay. And then
Yeah.
we got him out. I
That
think
was
the
off
other-
of Kyle Finnegan. Scooble gave up the one run.
Still,
early.
he's the hero for Seattle right now. Even if they don't advance past the next playoff round, to the championship series. They
This is like the second time they've ever made it. They've never made it to a World Series. They're the only team in baseball that's never made it to a World
and see,
Series.
part of me wants to see them go all the way just to get a World Series,
Fuck
but at the same
Mariners.
time
I
they
want them to
beat
get
us.
swept.
And I don't like the
by the
fact,
Blue Jays.
I don't like the fact that Big Poppy, A-Rod, and all of them except for one, predicted Seattle was going to win. That
If
game
the Tigers
yesterday
had
could
better
have won.
hitters, they would have won. If they would
But
have made a
see,
trade at the deadline,
But we
they'd have
kept
won.
that game so close for 15 friggin'. Even the final score wasn't, they didn't get the final out, so it could have been more if it wasn't the bottom of the 15th. But the game was close. They kept it close for 14 solid innings, and it was an incredibly well-pitched game on both sides. Anything could have swung it. And I thought we were screwed so many times when they brought in Jack Flaherty. He loaded the bases one inning. The inning before that, he walked two guys straight. He hit a batter, and then he walked the first batter, then hit a batter, which technically I think that's the one you want to talk about where it hit the bat first. It should have been called
it
a
should have
foul.
been a foul ball.
Should have been a foul. And even our announcers said it over and over again.
Both announcers who are former catcher AJ Przinsky and former Cy Young Award winner Adam Wainwright.
Yeah. And they called it, and you're right.
Yeah, they called
couldn't
it
get that
immediately,
right.
and he even said, "I'm sorry, but that's a foul ball." And like he even, he.
So the guys in New York really screwed up on that one. However, it didn't end up costing it. Well, I cannot
Except
believe
he had to face another batter.
Yeah. But I cannot believe we got out of that inning. And then the next inning, the same freaking thing. We loaded the bases and luckily got a double play. And he had two back-to-back double plays, and I'm thinking, all right, the momentum's in our side. Then it wasn't. Then the momentum was in our side again when they got another double play after loading the friggin' bases. For Seattle loaded the bases. And we could not get a freaking hit to save our life. Even the Tigers, late in the game, loaded the bases. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
We got a leadoff. Was it leadoff double?
Yeah.
Right off the bat,
Dingler got a
no
leadoff
outs?
double.
No outs or one out. I don't remember.
It
But,
was, I think,
yeah, Dingler.
one out. I can't remember.
oh, no, it was really late, folks, so bear with us. So if we're wrong, I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. Tigers lost, but holy crap. One of the best games I've ever seen. And now we got to talk, even though it was so many innings ago, I can't see, late night.
Tarek Skubal.
Tarek Skubal, one of the best. For
I have
one,
the line right here.
Cleveland, he set his his personal best, 14 strikeouts in a game.
And then he
Then
came
he
back
sets
this one,
two records this
13
time.
strikeouts.
13 strikeouts, which in a do-or-die game is the most in Major League Baseball friggin' history. Come on, you can't get any better than that. And he scored, go ahead.
It's postseason history.
What'd I say? MLB?
MLB,
Okay.
yeah.
MLB postseason history. All right. And, so not only that, you want to run down his stats?
Yeah, I have the little thing. It's the most in a winner-take-all game in MLB history as well.
What's that? The strike?
Yeah, 13 strikeouts is the most, and a winner take all in a game in
Yeah, that's what we
postseason
said.
history.
Oh. And Scooble, Garrett Cole, and Bob Gibson are the only players in MLB history with 13 plus strikeouts in 2 postseason games.
Yeah, and
Incredible.
those two did it over the course of their entire career. Scooble did it in one
Same
postseason.
friggin' postseason. Incredible. And Bob Gibson, when you're in his company, period, when they mentioned in the same
Tigers beat
same
him.
breath. Yeah, yes, we did. But it means little today. But, well, that, doesn't help us out today. But, and that's another thing. We got another stat on Scooble. I don't know if you've seen the rundown. I believe Scooble pitched just this postseason alone. He got 14 strikeouts, 9 strikeouts. And I think he only gave up a run in each of those. And then yesterday, or late last night into early morning, he only gave up a run, pitched 6 innings, or is it 6 1/3, I think?
No, it was 6 innings.
Okay, 6 innings.
He should have come out for
13
the extra
strikeouts,
third.
but we lost. And his starts where he pitched so incredible. Another game he pitched 8 in, only give up so many runs. And
Yeah.
I think the Tigers were 1-4 in 5 postseason appearances for him. That is just, is it like they give up when Scuba's on the mound or what?
Yeah, it's like they forget that they're,
It's like they give up, we only need a run or two, which normally
They
would be
forget that
good
they're
for his
baseball
games. But
players.
when it's just horrible. And the guy should have been a 20-game winner this year, I think. Although the way he's pitched, his ERA, everything, the Tigers just played so bad when he pitched. And he's in the front runner again for the second time in a row of being the Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah. And last night he set a postseason record with 7 consecutive strikeouts.
Yeah, I forgot about that. 7 consecutive strikeouts. And if we would have, and then didn't he give up? He give up a fly ball, which I'm glad he needed a short inning. Then he just laid him down after that. Even end up with freaking 13. Are you kidding me? That's one of the best performances I've ever seen. And that's another mistake I think AJ Hinch. Yeah, he was up to 97 pitches.
Yeah, something like that.
It was high 90s pitches, and his career high is 108, which I think he set in game 1 against Cleveland, right? This year? Well, he pitched over 100. They said it was the most he'd throw in the season, I thought.
Yeah, it was like 103.
Okay, 103. Well, it's still close. Okay, 108, yeah, but you can't. If he's going to push that, I would have let him come out, at least pitch to 1 or 2 more batters. Because if he would have got a quick inning, although the problem is, if you notice, Seattle ran the count high. He went full count on a lot of them, or they ran the count up, which the Tigers did against Seattle pitching early on. And then towards the end of the game, it's like they're just trying to make something happen, which is good, and they're making contact. But you got to make good contact. Make their friggin' pitchers work. And the more pitches you see, the more apt they are to make a mistake. And then if you get that count full, especially if there's a guy on already, you can't make a mistake. That was our problem when they got guys on base in scoring position. 1 hit would have ended the game.
Yeah.
And Tigers, in fact, the
didn't
game,
pinch it, didn't do anything.
well, that's the problem. And then they loaded the bases, which I get the play. They walked, who was it? They walked 60 home run, Cal Raleigh.
Oh.
Didn't they in the last inning?
Yeah, on one of them.
Well, anyway, I get walking him because he killed us in this series, and he probably would have got a hit, especially with Seattle backing him. This would have been his moment.
No,
they walked the other guy.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, but he already got a hit, didn't he? Didn't he get a leadoff hit? Cal in this.
Cal, I think, worked a walk after a leadoff hit.
Yeah, that's what it was. Which I'm shocked they pitched to him, but they couldn't. They didn't have a choice because of the runners, the batters that were coming up. So anyway, when they loaded the bases, thinking they're going to get a quick out, they almost walked in a run.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he had to throw something down the middle. It was a good hit out to center field, and it ended the game. That's all he needed.
Yeah.
All they needed was a hit. Bad. I think all around. And you can't. It's hard to get on that.
Jorge Polanco.
Yeah, I know. But it's really hard to get on the manager's case when it was a chess match throughout after the starters. He definitely should have pinched it. I think that's a mistake, and it's come back to bite us. And I don't think they should have had the pitcher they had at the very end.
Their
But
pinch hitter literally won them the game. It tied the game and got it to
I
extra
did.
innings.
And our
Like,
pitch hitter could have been the hero.
Jemai Jones has been the best hitter for the Tigers over the last month and a half, and they just did not let him play at all. And it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, especially now. And I thought too after Game 4 when they come back. We didn't talk about that last week because it didn't happen yet. But they came back in a do or die game. It ended up scoring 9 runs after being down three runs to none at Comerica Park. The ballpark was dead. You could hear a pen drop. And then as soon as they scored to tie it up, next inning, I hit a go-ahead home run. Then the bats came alive, and I thought, all right, momentum's in our favor. We got Scoob on the mound. As long as they keep playing like they did in the first half, we're going to win. And they played like the second half Tigers. Other than the pitching was incredible. But, God, there were so many mistakes.
Always been incredible. It's just they can't fucking hit.
Well, Flaherty, I thought, was terrible. But he did get out of it. He didn't give up a run, though. That's the thing. He gave up a lot of hits.
And he struck out a lot.
He did. But, God, he was scary to watch. Glad I got in a lot better shape this last 12 months because I probably would have had a heart attack, man. This guy was – Tigers
he had 2 strikeouts, 3 walks over 2 innings.
3 walks is crazy, though.
Hits.
And a hit by pitch, didn't he, too? They didn't count that as a walk. It was a hit by pitch, though.
Yeah, it's not in. I'm just looking up.
Did he hit 2 batters? Or we hit 2 batters? Oh, later in the game, we hit a batter.
Yeah.
Oh, the 15th inning, they hit a batter.
Yeah. And then the one
to get the
fake,
second guy
hit
on,
by a
don't hit a batter.
Obviously
it was an accident, but God's sakes, come on.
Yeah, the fake hit by batter that they called was one of them. That's the one that it hit the bat. Should have been a foul ball. And they fucked it up.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I think we kind of beat this to death. Unless you got anything else, I'm just done talking about them.
No, I kind of want to move on.
It was horrible. Did you mention? Yeah, you already said how bad the Tigers' bats were.
Yeah, they sucked.
They should have saved some of them damn runs from Game 4, and all we needed was a couple, and it would have ended this game in the 9th.
Or even fucking sooner because they just didn't do anything. Carpenter was the only one that came to play. He was the only one that cared, it seemed like. And Gleyber Torres was playing with a hernia, he just revealed, which is just stupid. If you're that hurt to where you need to go get surgery, just don't play. You're hurting the team because you didn't do anything.
He hit a home run in Game 4 that helped.
That was already after they had a pretty big lead.
And confidence was high. Oh, we got – and really, it's like they give up after that game. The bats were dead. I mean, you got to credit Seattle, even though I can't stand them right now. And their fans are just so friggin' weird. They cry a lot.
There's a video that John Boy posted of this dude just crying.
And that was in the first game, wasn't it? Or second game when they were winning?
No. This is one that he posted from last night.
Oh, yesterday. Yeah, he was balling.
Won.
I seen that too. Yeah. Even before they won, they're crying in the stands when they went to go ahead. And it's like, dude.
No, that was when they hit the tying run when the guy came in and got his first hit. The first pitch he saw in his MLB career, he got a go-ahead hit in the playoffs.
There was another woman that's now trending on one of the social media. She looks deranged.
That's all of them. Yeah, that's that one.
All their fans are just friggin'. I hate that damn. I hate their. I just hate the Mariners logos. And then they get out with dancing Marlins and stuff. It's just ridiculous. We got Paw. At least Paws can be entertaining. Paws jokes with it.
Funny.
And I think a Tiger can beat a Marlin.
Probably.
Unless they're playing ball against them, but yeah, I'm done with the Tigers, but a little bit late. Well, Blue Jays, you want to talk about the Blue Jays killing the Yanks?
Yeah, they murdered them.
The only offense seemed like it come from Judge.
Yeah, well, some people hit. Cody Bellinger opted out of his contract after that.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, they basically just ran up the score in the first 2 games. Yankees came back in Game 3. And then in Game 4, they just kind of were the same Yankees from the first 2 games. And, then Cody Bellinger immediately opted out. Which
free agent, right? I think.
Yeah, he's going to be a free agent, which, hey, come and play for the Tigers.
We could have used that bat this season. Yeah. It would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, if they would have done something last offseason when, he was on the market.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully they do something this year. They didn't do anything in the offseason last year, really, besides like Torres, and then he really didn't perform. And then getting Jack back, which was like the only big thing that they did. So they can, remedy that situation, and the fact they didn't do anything at the deadline with getting a really good bat.
Neither did Tigers. Or is that where? No, I should pay more attention. My bad.
Probably.
Well, yeah, I think, and I was going to mention that too. The Tigers. I think that's the thing that's going to come back and bite their management for not doing. It bit them right then. During when the Tigers went on their like 11 for 1 or 1 for 11 skid or whatever the hell they had back in the start of this end of this first half, start of the second half, they did terrible, and then it just down. They were what, under 500 or right at 500 for September. They were a horrible team in September, which is when you need to play.
500 for the last month or last like 2 months.
That's when you need to play your best and put all your effort forward, and where those late season call-ups would have helped, or even, the trade deadline call-ups would have helped, but they were just terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Jahmai Jones was pretty good, but they didn't put him in the fucking game.
Yeah, that's part of the issue. Well,
yeah. But the Blue Jays played really fucking well, and the Tigers gave them the first seed. And they now have a really, really, really good chance to go to the World Series with the Tigers depleting the Mariners bullpen.
Oh, yeah, they got a good shot at it.
Yeah, they have really good. It's a day off, I believe, 1 day off, and then they have to go for the championship.
And I haven't
series.
I haven't seen much of the Jays this year, but I think they got a better team anyway than Seattle.
They're pretty good. Vlad Jr.'s been
he's been awesome in the playoffs too.
Yeah, he's been amazing.
Only father and son team in ML or in postseason history to hit a grand slam. Obviously, different years. They didn't play on the same team, but and I remember Vladimir Senior. He was a hell of a hitter.
He's awesome.
Lots of home runs. He was clutch in that playoff too. But he hit a grand slam. His son and they're the only father and son in history to hit grand slams in the postseason, which pretty cool. But you don't have a ton of. I mean, you got the Griffeys, you got the Bonds, Barry and Bobby Bonds, father and son teams. There's not a ton of them, but the ones that are, those are the ones that I know right offhand.
Would it be Cecil and Prince?
Cecil and Prince too, but Tigers never made a playoff with Cecil. They did with Prince. Or wait, yeah, we did with Prince.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't do anything.
2012 and 2013. And
one of the greatest
Big Papi kicked us out.
3-4 combinations in history. You got Miguel Cabrera, and then backing him up, Prince Fielder, with all his power, which if Prince would have stayed healthy and we could have kept him, we would have. God, yeah, Peralta was awesome. We had some
fell off after leaving the Tigers.
Some of the best pitching in history then too, but now, yeah. Our closer was great too yesterday, but not a. Yeah. Anyway, we keep going back to the Tigers, which I'm done with them.
All right, let's go to the Vlad's performance in the postseason. He had 17 at bats, 20 plate appearances, and 9 hits. He had a 5.29 batting average and a 1.609 on base percentage. He has 3 home runs and 9 RBIs, 2 walks, and he's only struck out 1 time.
Did you say 3 home runs?
He's got 3 home runs and 9 RBIs against the Yankees.
And we might have a new Mr. October.
I mean,
it's not, well, Reggie did it in 3 in 1 game, I believe, so.
Yeah.
And he was just awesome, but.
I mean, if he kills the Mariners like this.
The postseason's long from over for the Blue Jays, I think. Who do you think's going to make the playoffs? I kind of think, I don't know, Milwaukee's good too, though, but I think the Blue Jays are going.
I really don't want the Dodgers to win, so just,
Yeah, they won already.
Whoever is against them, basically.
I think we stated early on, too, before the postseason started, I think it's going to be a hell of a postseason. Yeah. Not just because we were in, but that did make it more exciting. Now that they're out, I still think there's so many exciting, crazy things that happen in this postseason, including the Dodger game, which we'll get into that. But
Yeah, we can get into that
good
now.
God, man, there's so much incredible. Yankees were a heavy favorite before the season started. Now they just fizzled out.
Jazz said they were the best team in baseball, and then they didn't do shit in
Well, Tigers were the
division
best
series.
team literally for a while there for the
Yeah.
first 60 games.
Well, they didn't say that they were the best team and then
That's
choke
true.
it. Jazz
That's true.
did.
Well, yeah,
And he
that
made a
kinda looks
crucial
bad.
error in Game 4.
Yeah. Whoops. Speaking of errors, I guess good segue. Dodgers, Phillies. God, what a heartbreaker that was. If you're a Phillies fan. Yeah, walk-off error to end the game. You can't. I mean, heartbreaking for the Philly fans, and I really felt bad for the pitcher. Orion Kerkering on the mound. Andy Paez is the batter. He hit one up the middle. Got kind of lost for a second there.
He had it, and then he lost it.
Yeah, he
And then
lost
couldn't
it,
find
and then he hurried up and threw it to home. And I think it would have been in time, but he threw the ball wide to the right, and
Yeah.
the catcher just couldn't get it. So it ended up being
Yeah,
a
Will
walk-off
Smith.
error. Bases loaded, that in the 11th inning. What a
Yeah.
freaking horrible
I
way
would
to
have been
end a
so
ball game.
fucking mad if that's how this game would have ended. I was worried that this game would have ended the way like.
Well, when they're
stupid
that
like
close,
that.
something stupid cost you. If you get a lead, that's why the Tigers, it wasn't as bad as that. I thought last night it was going to end on an error too because we made some stupid plays. Hit batter, but to end a
One of
game
them-
like
one of those hit
this.
batters, I did think it was going to be a pass ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and God, when it's that tight, you don't have any margin for error. That's why you need to score some freaking runs. What was the game total on that one? It wasn't much. It was only
Yesterday?
for Dodgers.
Oh, it was 2-1.
That's what I thought. So they tied it up.
Yeah, it was 2-1.
So it was 1-1 in the 11th inning. Another pitcher's duel, and the guys, man, both teams pitched incredibly well, and just for it to come down to an error like that, although he did load the bases, so it wasn't like he was doing that great anyway, but loaded the bases. You didn't have any room to make a mistake. So,
Well, he didn't load the bases. He came in.
yeah. But still, well, I mean, as a whole, and their pitching staff.
Their starter did very well.
Oh, he
6
did.
1/3, 5 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not
Um,
Terry Scooble good, but he's a freak of nature right
oh,
now.
yeah, he's crazy.
And Tigers better give him every damn thing he wants to keep him. But anyway, back to
He
the
better get $1 billion tomorrow.
for free for crying out. And the I feel bad for the pitcher because of course, even if you give up a legit hit or they got anything happened, errors happen, but even if it was a legit play and it wasn't the pitcher's fault, you're going to feel bad if you're on the mound when it happens. Even if the
Well, that was
outfielder
his
bobbled
fault.
it was his fault. First, the only thing you see trending the next day was his head down, and then they're consoling him in the dugout. He's got to feel bad. It was all came down to one play that ended their season, but that's baseball. That it's a game of very slim margins, or it could be a blowout. But
Yeah, like the Dodgers.
and that's why
the Blue Jays.
And we talked about this on I think the last one or a couple episodes of our show ago. We've had baseball's not over until that ninth out. It doesn't matter how big a lead you have, you can blow that lead. It doesn't matter how close the game is. Anything can happen when it doesn't end until that final out. Sometimes it's 27 outs. Sometimes it's multiple. Well, yesterday, 15 innings and over 450 pitches thrown from both sides. It was over 200 for the Tigers alone, and it was
Over 250 for the Tigers.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. So, but that's how that ended. And got anything else for this game?
Not for this. I mean, it was just a heartbreaker.
It was, and it would have been cool to see Phillies. Well, because Phillies were only won one game anyway. This would have been the tiebreaker for them, and now instead they're down 3-1. So, and they're eliminated. But that happens.
Yeah.
And I like the fact we've had a lot of Tigers had 2 series where they took it to the final. It was against the Cleveland Indians. It was best of
Guardians.
Cleveland Guardians. It was the best of, it was 3-game series.
Yeah.
best of, and it went 3 games. This was the best of 5, and now I think Yankees went the distance, didn't they?
Mm-mm. They won 3 games or 4 games.
All right. Well, I'm sick of you telling me I'm wrong, even if I'm wrong. But anyway, okay.
You're wrong.
Well, thank you for clarifying. Hey, I was up late yesterday watching a bullshit game
So was I.
that we should have freaking won.
Yeah, we really should have.
They had it. They had
Should have
Scoob
traded
on the
at
mound.
the deadline.
Should have traded at the freaking deadline, and they should have put friggin' pinch hitters in, and they shouldn't have. Well, anyway, sorry guys, we're a little bitter over that, and I don't think we built in enough time for complaining because we're probably not done. But anyway,
We can spill over in the next week.
We'll move on from there. Hey, sports fans, if you're in the great state of Michigan and you're in need of roofing, siding, gutters, or insulation, there's only one place to call, and that place is Excel Home Improvement out of Romulus. With over 60 years in business, they are third-generation family-owned and veteran-operated. They manufacture their own gutters and trim, so they're able to keep costs low while providing superior quality with unmatched service. They cover all of southeastern Michigan, including as far north as Bay City, all the way down to Monroe, and from Lansing to Port Huron. So give them a call today. That's Excel Home Improvement, 734-941-2800. All right, and then, folks, we're actually recording 2 separate days, so we wanted to get the playoff results of another Game 5 in, the Brew Crew versus the Chicago Cubs. And the Brewers come out on top 3-1.
Yeah, they hit 3 solo home runs to win.
That's all it took.
Yeah, it was Bryce Terang, William Contreras, and their first baseman that they got at the deadline, who basically turned their entire season around.
Oh,
made them the best
deadline
team in
guys
baseball.
work. No shit.
Yeah, Andrew Vaughn.
Should have done it.
Since they traded for Andrew Vaughn, they've been the best team in baseball. So there's that.
Yeah. So Tigers, again, should have done something at the deadline, but we're not talking about them anymore. Well, maybe. So, but they won 3-1, beat the Cubs, and I believe you said Jacob Mizorowski, I believe, was a starter, but he got the win.
Yeah.
He got the win, wasn't the starter.
Yeah, he was.
So we're down to 4 teams left in all of baseball for the championship.
Yep, the Mariners and the Blue Jays for the AL.
Yep.
And then the Dodgers and Brewers for the NL.
And I think the Blue Jays added a couple more pitchers to their lineup. They got Mad Max Scherzer, future Hall of Famer,
which is really good for them. He's got 2 rings already, with the 2019 Nationals and the 2023 Texas Rangers, which is their first ring. So he's got some deep playoff experience. And, I mean, hell, when he was with the Tigers, he came out of the bullpen and saved bases loaded, no outs, got 3 outs, 2 of them being strikeouts. And, I mean, he's one of the clutchest playoff performers in the last 20, 30 years.
And besides Mad Max, they added 36-year-old Chris Bassett, too. So they got a couple.
Give him some length.
Yeah. Well, that makes a big difference. We needed length in the if the game goes freaking 15 innings, you need guys that can come out, and even if it's just a couple innings, you got to have somebody that could go, because you never know. Could go 2 innings, it could go an extra 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Could go. Mariners, I think 3 years ago had an 18-inning game. That's basically 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous. But it happens. So you need some guys because you never know, especially when you got so many good players on both teams. The tide could change at any time, which it did. It goes back and forth. The momentum swings. And sometimes even with your home team behind you, you can't do anything. And sometimes you can. So I think it's shaping up to be a good playoff. Who do you want to win?
Kind of want Seattle. They have a really good story. Even though they beat us, they were the better team. They played better. They
were better than us. I don't know if they're better than the Blue Jays.
I don't think they're better than any team that's still left.
I don't either.
But I think they have a better story than all of them. The Dodgers,
it's a good come from behind story.
The Brewers are annoying because they're good. And then the Blue Jays have already got 2 rings. The Mariners have never even been to a World Series yet. So I think that it's it'd be really cool for them to get there and win it.
And it's
even though they beat us.
yeah, and the last time I remember when I was younger growing up, they had a team they won a ridiculous amount of games. I believe it was
Lost in the
well over
championship
100.
series.
Yeah, and
It
they
was
lost.
119.
They were blown out just like that, and that could happen to the Brewers. So just because you got the best record in baseball doesn't
That
mean
was
you're going to
2001
win.
against the Yankees.
Although I will point out, Tigers won 104 and 84, and they beat everybody.
True.
In 5 games in the World Series, they destroyed Tony Gwynn in the shouldn't say Tony Gwynn, they destroyed his team. 'Cause Tony Gwynn was one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
In a clutch, you got Tony Gwynn, doesn't strike out. God. But we beat the
He
Padres.
performed well.
And that was our last World Series win. So we were hoping Tigers could do something this
We've
year.
only
but-
won one World Series game since 1984.
Yep. Today, this wasn't our year, but maybe it's Seattle's, maybe it's the Blue Jays, but who knows? Brewers got a great team. Blue Jays, I wouldn't mind seeing Blue Jays just beat everybody too, because they've got.
Yeah, they've been really dominant.
But yeah, it is what we'll see. It's it's shaping up to be a really good playoff.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens, and I'm sure there's going to be more magic made in the playoffs, and I think we're going to have I think it's going to be a good playoff no matter what. I'm kind of interested to see what happens.
Yeah, we're down to the Final Four.
That's right. We've got the passing of Mike Greenwell, played his entire career with the Boston Red Sox, died October 9th of a form of thyroid cancer, nicknamed the Gator. He was 303 lifetime batting average, 130 career home runs, 726 RBIs, 2-time All-Star, and he's in the Red Sox Hall of Fame.
1,400 hits exactly in 831 on base percentage. Finished second in the MVP in 1990 or 1988.
Yep, to Jose Canseco, first
Yep.
40-40 man. Now we got 50-50 in the club, Jose. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so
Which steroid boy don't count.
yeah, okay. Well, I don't think he was on steroids. He might have been on that. I don't know. I know that the Bash brothers were a good duo back then. But anyway,
True.
yeah. Not only that, we have a bowling legend that passed away, which I'm not very familiar with bowling, but they call him Mr. 900, Glenn Allison, who three consecutive perfect games, which I didn't know that was a thing. One is hard enough to get.
Yeah.
Through 3 of them, Mr. 900, he was 95 when he passed away. So our thoughts and prayers go out to both of the Glenn Allison's family and Mike Greenwell. Yeah, so again, thoughts and prayers go out to them. And then real quick, moving on to we've got the suspension of Conor McGregor. He accepted an 18-month suspension for their anti-doping policy. So apparently something happened there. I don't know. I have the full story, but just want to quickly mention that. While we're on the subject of last week, we broke the news of that story was just breaking. We didn't have all the full story, but apparently it sounds like he was the alleged attacker, the guy that stabbed him. Yeah, he was the aggressor. The guy that stabbed him was, I believe, a 60-some-year-old truck driver.
Yeah.
Defended himself, stabbed him, and he actually got arrested. So that's where we're at on that. I haven't heard any updates lately, but so he was drinking and driving apparently. At least that's what we know for now. And just, people got to control yourselves, and things are bad enough out there. You got to, just take your aggression out in sports. Unless your team loses like ours did, and then you want to just beat the hell out of somebody, but you don't do it. Yeah. So anyway, all right, let's switch to NFL news. You want to run down the standings?
Yeah, we can run down the standings and then go into week 5. The Bills are currently leading the East after losing to the Patriots in prime time. They are now 4-1. That was their first loss of the season, and the Patriots are right behind them at 3-2. The Chargers lead the West, tied with the Denver Broncos at 3-2. The AFC North is Steelers country. They're leading the division 3-1, and the second place team is the Bengals, and they are 2-3. And they don't have a quarterback. They have Joe Flacco, who was just traded.
2 and 3, and they're second place.
Yeah. Well, it's also early in the season, but
It
still,
is.
like the Ravens lost Lamar Jackson for a little bit. The Browns suck, and then the Bengals lost Joe Burrow for the remainder of the season to a toe injury. So the North is pretty much wide open for the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers to steal that. And then the AFC South is probably the most tight division. The Colts and Jaguars are both 4-1, which I don't think anyone expected these two teams to be atop of the AFC South. Everyone basically preseason was saying that the Texans and CJ Stroud were going to win, but it is not happening right now.
Yeah. And we're only a quarter through the season, but
Yeah,
actually, no, a little further.
yeah, a little further now. Moving over to the NFC, the Eagles are atop of the East with a 4-2 record over the Commanders, who are 3-2. The NFC West is the 49ers leading at 4-1, which is very surprising considering they've had no Brock Purdy for basically the entire season, no George Kittle for basically the entire season. Ricky Parcells has basically been out, and they've had Mac Jones and Christian McCaffrey basically running over the entire league, and it's kind of crazy. And the Seahawks and Rams are both right behind them with a 3-2 record. Yeah, the NFC North is our division. The Lions are
Woohoo!
atop at 4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the closest team next to us is the Packers. They're 2-1-1, which fuck
Yeah.
ties in the NFL. They're so annoying.
No, we talked about that too. Yeah, it was. I don't like ties either.
Just go to
This isn't hockey,
double
boys.
overtime.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Just make it fun. I know, like, injuries and stuff, but still, like, I want to see a winner. I don't want the season to come down to a fucking tie. Like, this is ridiculous.
Well, even. Yeah, I agree.
And lastly, for the standings, the NFC South, the Buccaneers, with all of their injuries, are somehow leading 4-1 atop of the South, and the Falcons are the closest to them. They're 2-2.
All right.
Yeah, we can get into the Lions game first. Actually, let's do San Francisco and Los Angeles. The Rams and the 49ers. Very, very, very good game. Ended in overtime, 26-23. Matthew Stafford had almost 400 yards. Kendrick Bourne and Mac Jones reunited, two former New England Patriots playing with each other again. And they came out on top against the Rams, which was very surprising. Matthew Stafford, again, almost threw 400 yards and lost the game.
Former Lion.
Yeah.
He's used to that, though, because we usually have a good game and we
Yeah.
lose when he was with the Lions. Although now, man, it would have just think if we had him now with the team we've got.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy
Yeah,
with
the
him.
only reason we have the team we got is because of
It's
the
true.
trade. Three of our core players were given in that trade. The two picks that we got were Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs, which, you know.
Yeah, and teams, if you make a trade like that, it's great. But when you make a trade and it comes back to bite you, it's, but you never know you never know how someone's going to perform, if someone's going to get an injury, if someone's going to go and win a Super Bowl championship, which Stafford did.
Literally immediately.
Yeah, very next season. Yeah. But, you know what? Shit happens.
Yeah, and they played really well. They probably should have won that game, and San Francisco ends up winning it. Mac Jones has proven that he was good enough to be taken 15th overall in the 2021 draft. And I mean, just he showed that he is an NFL caliber quarterback, and when Purdy comes back, it's going to be kind of tough to put him back in with the way that Mac's been playing. I mean, he's basically kept them in the division for this time while Brock has been out.
And the Broncos upset reigning Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and after the game, Devonte Smith was not happy. He and
I bet.
AJ Brown both have said that they do not like the fact that they're not getting the ball enough. And I mean, you're 4-2. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But like, they did get uh, upset by the Broncos, 21-17, and Devonte Smith played a really good game. AJ Brown played a really good game, and they lost. And they both were very upset after the game and made very weird comments, kind of alluding to basically wanting to leave.
It's a team sport. You win together, you lose together.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's an issue. You gotta.
It kind of seems like they're just being like divas about it, like kind of crybabies, because you're not only atop of your division, but you're winning. You lost one game barely to the Broncos. Like, I don't really see a reason that they're this upset. But
I agree. Well, you keep that internally too, because when it get now with social media, anything you say, even if they didn't mean it to be that way, it's going to get taken out of context. It's going to make it a bigger deal than what it needs to be. You take that stuff up internally.
yeah,
It's not, but you're also grown adults. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
It's a team
They've just
sport.
been acting like children. It seems like with it, it's been a really weird situation. Next, we'll move over to the Lions game. They beat the Cincinnati Bengals
Woo!
37-24. Terrion Arnold got injured in this game. He was expected to miss the majority of the season. Is only going to miss about half of that now, which is still bad, but better than what it was. Uh, they kept scoring at the end of this game, and it was making me really nervous. And then the
Yeah,
Lions
me
just
too.
kept scoring touchdowns to respond, and I was like, okay, they're just defense is bad because 3 corners are out. It makes sense, but yeah, they need to tighten it up. And the Lions played amazing. David Montgomery threw his second passing touchdown of his career. And Lions PR posted the only NFL running backs to post multiple games with passing and rushing touchdowns since the merger is David Montgomery, Jerome Bettis, Derrick Henry, Chuck Muncie, Walter Payton, Clinton Portis, and LaDainian Tomlinson.
And speaking of David Montgomery, him and Jahmyr Gibbs tied record for the most games by any running back duo in NFL history. 14 times each scored a touchdown in the same game. So
yeah, and
nice.
they are 14-0 when both of them score a touchdown in the same game, and they are 17-0 when Kirby Joseph gets an interception.
And Lions edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson has produced 1 sack in 4 straight games, which ties the NFL single season franchise record.
And he said 3 of those sacks called back. He would have had 3 more on top of his NFL leading sack total, which is just crazy to think about. And lastly, the Kansas City Chiefs were upset by the Jacksonville Jaguars, who did their hardest to try and lose this game, and it did not work. They literally were so terrible throughout the entire game and somehow still beat Kansas City. And it's probably because Chris Jones did not give a shit on the play that won the Jaguars the game. He literally didn't try. He just stood there the whole time. That's it for the NFL recap. We're going to transition out to the NFL injury report.
Right, quarterback Lamar Jackson was ruled out of the game for the Ravens.
Yeah, and so was CeeDee Lamb with an ankle injury, Tyler Booker with an ankle injury, Kevontae Turpin with a foot injury, and Miles Sanders with a knee/ankle injury. They've all been ruled out.
For the Packers, wide receiver Christian Watson is out.
And for the Steelers, Jalen Ramsey is questionable, but most likely will play.
For the 49ers, quarterback Brock Purdy and Ricky Parcell has been ruled out. And the already injured Mac Jones is a likely starting option.
Yeah, he's listed as questionable for this week, but they don't really got anyone else, so come on, Mac.
But oblique and a knee strain, I've had an oblique pull. That can be painful, especially when you're doing a lot of twisting.
Oh yeah, especially when you have to turn into a throw, like that's got to be terrible.
Well, in
And
the
he's got a knee
knee,
injury on top
yeah,
of that,
that makes it bad too
which
because, yeah,
he's recovering from both of them, but still.
yeah, it's harder to recover if you keep re-injuring yourself. But
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see how it
true.
goes.
And next, the Bills have placed defensive tackle T.J. Sanders and safety Damar Hamlin on the injury reserve per coach Sean McDermott, as well as linebacker Matt Milano, who's been out for several weeks now.
And the Detroit Lions have ruled out Taylor Decker, Avante Maddox, and Giovanni Manu.
Next, the Cardinals are leaving the door open for Kyler Murray to start, but are preparing for Jacoby Brissett to start versus the Colts. Murray has been dealing with a mid-foot sprain, and Jacoby got the majority of the practices all week, which former Detroit Lion played with us last year, had to actually go into the game where the Lions ended up, their season was over because Goff got a fucking whiplash when being assaulted against the turf and there was no flag thrown.
Yep. And Patriots running back Antonio Gibson will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL.
Yeah, that's very bad for the Patriots. He's been their best running back because Ramondre Stevenson can't hold on to the fucking ball. Lastly, for football, Jaguars defensive end Josh Hines Allen's 8-year-old son Wesley, who was diagnosed with leukemia in the final weeks of the 2024 season, will be an honorary captain for their game against the Seahawks.
That's awesome.
Wesley completed his cancer treatment in August and is now in full remission. Josh Hines Allen has dedicated this season to pediatric cancer awareness in honor of his son.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
really cool. He's also, fun fact, the first NFL player to sack another NFL player with the exact same name. He sacked Josh Allen a year or 2 years ago, Bills quarterback, and yeah, they have the same name. So it's just a little
Oh,
crazy
there you go.
record that he has. He's the only player to do that.
That'd be like me sacking you.
Yeah, which you're old. It'd be the other way around.
Wow. You're lucky it's your birthday. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
But no, it would not be the other way around. Anyway, yeah, that's awesome. It's horrible when your kid's sick and I mean, you're not a doctor. There's only so much you can do. Luckily, he's got a platform that he can, make some awareness for it. So good for him.
Yeah.
And I'm glad his son is in recovery.
Yeah.
And that kind of wraps it up for football. But NHL hockey season has begun.
Yep. And the Red Wings lost their first game, but they bounced back and beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-3. Lucas Raymond scored 2 goals. And yeah, they killed them. It was a really, really, really well played game.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it for hockey. It's too early to do standings and everything.
Yeah,
Probably
they play
next
too
week.
many games to do that
Yeah.
too often. It's just like baseball. Like we'll talk about it when it matters.
Yeah, but yeah, so we'll move on to the NBA then for now. Unless you got anything else.
Yeah, no, I don't even have that much on the NBA. Basically, all I have for the NBA is that the preseason is starting and they're getting closer to the regular season, which starts on the 21st. So we got a little bit to go.
And then in the WNBA, they wrapped up their finals with the Las Vegas Aces sweeping their opponents 4-games-0. So congrats to them.
Yeah, and it's their third championship in 4 years, which that's dynasty.
Dynasty, that's right. All right, sports fans, that pretty much wraps it up for this week. There's probably a lot more we can go into depth on it, but I think this whole weekend we can kind of sum up with Dan Dickerson's call. I kind of feel the same way he does about the Tiger season. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course, like, share, subscribe, and feel free to comment. If you like what you hear, let us know. It helps us out with getting more and more views and getting the podcast and the word out to everybody. So tell a friend about us too. You got anything?
And here's the random clip of the week.
I don't have to do a game. Oh,
He's full.
fuck.
You get tired.
Fuck this game recap.